An engineer's responsibility is not only to run the right tests, to evaluate the customer's vision, not only to look at what those tests and the data tells them, but to take that evidence and show that to the customer so that good decisions can be made by the entire team for the greatest success of that product. Now when you're ready to talk to the customer or present your findings and evidence so that they can make good decisions. Some mistakes that young engineers do is they have all of these lovely numbers that they have, and they just show a chart of numbers. And I can tell you, I always tell the students this, when I as a professor show you a bunch of numbers, does that make you feel happy and that everything is perfectly clear? Or do your eyes glaze over and you have no idea what you're looking at, or you get irritated because you can't see those numbers on the board and now you got to go through it and now you got to figure it out? Or, and then I show them a graph that shows them the upward trends, whether it's a line graph, or whether they're bar graphs or histograms or whatever. Or does this help you see the pattern right away of what you're trying to understand? And they usually look at me and go, I guess the graph is really a lot nicer. I said, yes, it is. But now you have to make sure you get the right graph or the right picture. You have to be creative enough to put yourself in the person's shoes that you're speaking with. And that is just like what we do in writing. You have to think about your audience in that. And often that's one of the biggest challenges that engineers have, is how to clearly communicate all the good research that they did, all the good design decisions they want to recommend in a way that someone who's not them can understand. So pictures and graphs are often used more than words or numbers. You have to have the good balance between the visuals and the verbal. And I consider numbers verbal because you have to think about them and process them. As opposed, you have to remember like 10,000 is smaller than 10,100. But if you have a graph, you can see that it is smaller than that. So it's a difference in that. So that's one of the big things that we have as challenges, and as when I work with the engineering students, I make them go through some exercises of how to do freehand drawing, instruction writing. I've been known to always make a picture. And that's why I tell my students to take an art class. And engineering communication is a beautiful union of pictures and words. I have to give them the information that they care about, not the information that I spent most of my time figuring out.